Hello everyone, welcome to my bold and the beautiful gossip channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, October 24, uncover that Steffy Forrester will transfer a few difficult issues with Carter Walton during her next discussion with Edge Forrester. Steffy previously indicated about a portion of those issues to Brooke Logan, who expects this is truly about Carter's help of trust Logan and her line. Nonetheless, it's clearly greater than that since Steffy didn't endorse Carter's resuscitated gems line pitch by the same token. When Steffy gives Edge reports on Carter's most recent move, she'll scrutinize his unsafe plans and unpredictable way of behaving. Steffy will not have a great deal of confidence in Carter's contribution as a CEO any longer, so she'll open up to Edge pretty much all the show. In the interim, Ivy Forrester will make a beeline for the Forrester Chateau, where she'll impart a disturbing news to Eric Forrester. Obviously, Ivy's interest will be about Steffy and how she's allowing individual feelings of resentment to impede giving what's all for Forrester manifestations. On Thursday's B&B episode, Ivy will update Eric regarding what is going on and share how energized Elektra Forrester was to assist with the gems line. Steffy wouldn't actually take a gander at Ivy and Elektra's plans, so Ivy will grumble and contend that Steffy is keeping Forrester manifestations away from a truly beneficial future. Eric is very partial to Ivy, so he could be enticed to intercede, particularly in the event that she absolutely asks him to. Ivy could convey a sincere solicitation and trust that Eric will supersede Steffy's choice, which would allow the gems line a genuine opportunity at progress. In any event, there's greater antagonism blending among Carter and Steffy. Carter is preparing for one more pitch about his vision for Forrester and the extravagance umbrella he needs to make, so Steffy won't be blissful about that in the approaching episodes. The bold and beautiful spoilers say Carter and Steffy will have another furious face-off before the week slows down, so stay with us for additional expectations on all the additional contention. The bold and the beautiful spoilers recap for Wednesday, October 23, uncovers that Steffy Forrester was careful about supporting the resuscitated adornments line, yet Ivy Forrester and Carter Walton endeavored to try out her on the thought. Steffy in the end requested that Elektra Forrester leave the room, which allowed her an opportunity to call Ivy out for being annoying. Since Ivy behaved like Steffy was allowing their own set of experiences to disrupt everything, Steffy demanded that wasn't true. Notwithstanding, Carter felt that Ivy reserved the privilege to scrutinize Steffy's position since she had a propensity for allowing individual sentiments to hinder great business. Eventually, Steffy would not actually take a gander at the gems show that Ivy and Elektra had set up in the salon. After Steffy proclaimed that her choice was conclusive, she said she had different activities. When Ivy left, Carter remained there, frowning at Steffy prior to stomping out. Carter apologized to Ivy and Elektra, yet they realized he was giving his all. Ivy recommended they would do well to tidy up the showcase they'd set up and taken off to the salon before long. In the plant office, Trust Logan told Will Spencer that he could have an objective on his back since he was a Logan. Trust caused a forecast about Will to working 2 times as difficult to win over Steffy, however he wasn't concerned. All things considered, Brooke Logan hoped Will ought to notice Trust's advance notice since there was to be sure a Forrester-Logan quarrel at the organization. A short time later, Will found Elektra in the hall, so she dropped the gems plate. A remorseful Will mixed to get things, so he was acting with great humility, introducing a ring to Elektra as they locked eyes interestingly. Both Elektra and Will got bothered, yet they in the end traded presentations and grinds. When Elektra gave Will reports on the gems line pitch, he felt that was cool. Will likewise slipped the dropped ring on Elektra's finger as the science popped between them. At the point when Brooke found Steffy in the chief office, she could perceive Steffy was occupied. Steffi conceded Carter had been somewhat misguided and honestly absolutely off base of late, so Brooke accepted this was about Carter's help for trust and her line. Back with Carter on Wednesday's B&B episode, he banged in the plan office and bragged to Trust about Steffi closing down the Restored Gems line. Steffi rejected it without giving it a look, so Carter needed to shut down these trivial individual plans that had no spot at Forrester manifestations. Trust thought it was smart to take Ivy back to restore the Adornments line. However, Carter recommended that was only the start of his vision. Carter needed to bring a plenty of brands under the extravagance umbrella and got Trust all advertised up about how effective Forrester could be. Trust demanded Carter expected to run with this, regardless of Steffy. After Trust encouraged Carter to assemble a conference, she pushed him to get Eric Forrester and Edge Forrester ready. Since Trust could hear the enthusiasm in Carter's voice, she said this was the means by which he planned to transform the organization and the business in general. When Trust communicated the amount she had faith in Carter and the future he was imagining, they grinned pleasantly at one another. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter's aggressive proposition will add to Steffi's rage soon, so remain tuned for all the terrible news that is approaching. Even so, Brooke Logan Will should heed Hope's warning since there was indeed a Forrester-Logan feud at the company. Afterward, Will bumped into Elektra in the corridor, so she dropped the jewelry tray. An apologetic Will scrambled to pick things up, so he was on bended knee presenting a ring to Elektra as they locked eyes for the first time. Both Elektra and Will got flustered, but they eventually exchanged introductions and smiles. Once Elektra gave Will updates on the jewelry line pitch, he thought that was cool. Will also slipped the dropped ring on Elektra's finger as the chemistry crackled between them. When Brooke found Steffi in the CEO office, she could tell Steffi was distracted. Steffi admitted Carter had been a little off base and frankly flat out wrong lately, so Brooke assumed this was about Carter's support for Hope and her line. Back with Carter on Wednesday's B&B episode, he slammed in the design office and complained to Hope about Steffi shutting down the revived jewelry line. Steffi vetoed it without even giving it a glance, so Carter wanted to stop these petty personal agendas that had no place at Forrester Creations. Hope thought it was a brilliant idea to bring Ivy back to revive the jewelry line, but Carter suggested that was just the beginning of his vision. Carter wanted to bring a plethora of brands under the luxury umbrella and got Hope all hyped up about how successful Forrester could be. Hope insisted Carter needed to run with this, with or without Steffy. After Hope urged Carter to call a meeting, she pushed him to get Eric Forrester and Rich Forrester on board. Since Hope could hear the passion in Carter's voice, she said this was how he was going to leave his mark on the company and the industry as a whole. Once Hope expressed how much she believed in Carter and the future he was envisioning, they smiled sweetly at each other. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter's ambitious proposal will add to Steffi's fury soon, so stay tuned for all the bad news that's looming. Her Trust encouraged Carter to assemble a conference. She pushed him to get Eric Forrester and Edge Forrester ready. Since Trust could hear the enthusiasm in Carter's voice, she said this was the means by which he planned to transform the organization and the business in general. When Trust communicated the amount she had faith in Carter and the future he was imagining, they grinned pleasantly at one another. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter's aggressive proposition will add to Steffi's rage soon, so remain tuned for all the terrible news that is approaching. Since Hope could hear the passion in Carter's voice, she said this was how he was going to leave his mark on the company and the industry as a whole. Once Hope expressed how much she believed in Carter and the future he was envisioning, they smiled sweetly at each other. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter's ambitious proposal will add to Steffi's fury soon, so stay tuned for all the bad news that's looming. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.